10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Pensacola, Florida. Stand up and take notice. Nick Bondage is back, and not only is he is back with a vengeance. Justice Stone, I'm coming for what you have. I am coming for what was rightfully mine. I am coming to not only take what you have, I'm coming to strip you of your pride. I am coming to strip you of your dignity. I'm coming to take everything that you have. And do I leave anything behind? No, I leave nothing behind. So it would behoove you to go ahead and give up and give me exactly what I came here to Pensacola, Florida, my old stomping grounds, and the place where I'm going to lay you to rest. Believe it, because bondage dominates.
Nick Bondage. Justin Stone, you know me. We've been up and down the roads, from New Orleans to hell. But you know what, man? You're coming into this town, Pensacola, to come see me. Brother, you got a fight on your hands. I know you a fighter, and you know what I'm about. So let's get it on.
Good evening, wrestling fans. How you doing? It is me, the Commissioner, Bobby Dahl, and my good buddy, Mr. Internet. Hey, let's start off this show by actually telling these people what they missed. If you weren't at the last Ultimate Wrestling show, let me tell you, you missed one of the greatest shows that this coast has ever seen.
It was incredible, the amount of talent on that show. New faces, I mean, guys that actually look like wrestlers.
Let me tell you,
Go figure.
I mean, you know what, it's been a while since you've been to our show.
Absolutely.
And then I actually came over here and I said, look, you need to come to the show. And I drug you to the show and tell them what you just told me.
The amount of action that was going on, it was old school wrestling with a new school flair.
That's right.
It wasn't the same old like you see up and down the coast. This was a new twist on a classic sport, professional wrestling. We got to see new guys like Scott Phoenix.
Ooh,
I mean,
incredible, isn't he?
The physique on this guy is unbelievable. I cannot put it over enough. You got to see.
If you're like in between the ages of what, 15 and 24, you need to come down and actually see Scott Phoenix. Now, I understand that there's going to be some of the cougars out there hanging around because because actually Scott Phoenix does attract the women, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Now, you know what? We're going to see that Mike Jacobs thinks he attracts the females too, doesn't he?
Well, you know, I had a chance to talk to Mike Jacobs, and I'm not going to say a foul word about him, but you go right on ahead.
Well, what we have this time is that we have some footage from the show. We're not going to give you everything because you got to come down the first and third Saturday of every month.
The American Legion Post 33.
That's it.
You know the place.
See this kind of action. You've got to see it to believe it. The Gulf Coast has never had anything like it. You've had imitations in the past. As a matter of fact, this is an old reminiscent of some old shows, isn't it?
Yeah, it was strikingly familiar.
I'm not going to say nothing. But anyway, we have an action-packed show for you tonight. We're going to try to cram all of this within a reasonable amount of time so that everybody can just enjoy themselves. But this show, we're going to have fun, aren't we?
Oh, it was so much fun. I can't put over the fact enough that people that if you've kind of strayed away from coming to seeing some Ultimate Wrestling, now is the time to jump back into it. You're going to see the top talent, not just from around here, but all around the Gulf Coast. From Mississippi, from all corners.
Speaking of, I just got another phone call.
He always gets them.
I get them all the time, don't I? I got another phone call. Guess who called me?
I have no
Take a
clue.
guess. Okay, you won't guess. The Wiggins axe murderer. Wade
Garrett.
Wade Garrett
Wade
heard
Garrett.
what was going on. The best thing about the best wrestlers in this sport is that when they find out that there's something hot going on, they burn that phone up and they want to hone right in and they're coming. It's unbelievable.
And you know, Wade Garrett has toured up here on the coast many times. He's been banned from the coast.
He's been banned, right.
I mean, the Wiggins axe murderer. There's a reason he has that moniker.
He's awesome.
Wow.
And everybody got to see Trucker Jones for the first time. A man that's 6'3", over 270 pounds, drop kick a man that's 6'4".
And I'm not talking a regular drop kick. I mean, he got vertical. He got air.
Did I tell you?
Yes.
I promised it and I delivered it. Did I not?
One of the few men on the Gulf Coast who could give Scarface Waylon Barley a run for his money.
Ooh.
Incredible.
Wasn't that just a dominating match?
That was just Clash of the Titans is all I know how to describe it. You know.
Well, this is what I want to do. For all of the fans out there that are actually thinking about coming to the next show, let's kind of briefly hit what happened at the last show, and let's tell them what's going to happen at this show coming up,
Give
July
a little sneak
2nd.
peek.
Yeah.
A little sneak peek.
July 2nd.
I believe at the beginning of the show, we got some pre-match comments from the current Ultimate Wrestling Cruiserweight champ, the Party Gras Justin Stone, and his opponent, a returning Nick Bondage.
Oh, man.
And we'll hit on that match real quick. And this was a good classic wrestling match. It was technical, it was hard-hitting, very fast. And in the end, it was Justin Stone who retained his Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, but, I mean, man, that match really could have gone either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could.
You know, that's what I love about this sport. One wrong move, and it just tears you up.
And I have to say, I have not seen Nick Bondage in years. The guy has not lost a step. And I'm not just saying that in passing. I mean, this guy seems to be still at the top of his game.
He's incredible.
I mean, in great shape, hitting all his spots in the ring, just bam, bam, bam.
Boom, boom, boom. Going at it, I mean, just fast and furious. But, let me tell you, coming up on the next show, Justin Stone, the actual Cruiserweight champion for Ultimate Wrestling, Mike Jacobs said that he thinks he ought to, he thinks he can take that belt. He says he knows he can take that belt from Justin Stone. Now, Justin Stone, he's a hammer. I mean, he's a hard-hitting son of a gun. And I'm going to tell you, Jacobs is an old-school shooter, boy. He can wrap you up like a pretzel in a heartbeat.
He will stretch you out.
I'm going to tell you what, if you haven't saw your hiney in a long time, Jacobs will make you see it. I mean, he can wrap you up and make you just look at it.
Regardless of what fans may think of Mike Jacobs, you have to give credit where credit is due. One of the best technical wrestlers, in my opinion, on the coast, bar none.
Bar none. Bar none. That's why I called him up. But he gave an interview backstage.
Yes.
And Jacobs is pretty full of himself. He actually said things that I didn't really say, you know, but
he took a few liberties.
He thinks he is the ultimate wrestling savior. Now he might have a point there, you know.
He could.
I mean, you know, he is that good, and he's that mean.
So far, undefeated since his return at Ultimate Wrestling.
But his downfall is that he thinks that he's as good looking as the commissioner, Bobby Dahl. But let me tell you that, you know, we won't go there. But coming up July 2nd, we have Mike Jacobs, old school shooter Mike Jacobs, up against Justin Stone, Party Gras. Listen, if you can dance, you need to come down because actually Justin Stone will pull you up in the ring, throw beads at you like they do at Mardi Gras. Okay? He comes out, you know what he looks like, the Mr. T of Mardi Gras, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
He's
does.
got beads coming up and just throws them everywhere. And that brings me to another point. Guess what we're going to start doing?
I have no clue.
You like movies?
Yes.
You like movies? You like dinner? I can tell. Anyway, this is the deal. This is the deal. You come down to an Ultimate Wrestling show, we're going to give away movie tickets.
Awesome.
We got movie tickets to the Rave Theater. We're going to give away a dinner for two and a movie.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
You can't beat that.
You come down to a wrestling show, and you just might go home with a dinner for two and a movie.
And some great wrestling action on top of that.
Fantastic wrestling action. Oh, I also want to throw in This past Saturday night, there was a fantastic show up in Crestview. Mr. Fantasy, I want to tell you, man, you know what? You're one heck of a promoter, and I just give you my props. You know what you're doing. Keep it up, brother. You're a good man. And that was a good show.
I want to get back to this Justin Stone versus Mike Jacobs. This could very well be worth the price of admission right there. I mean, you're not going to see action like this anywhere else. No. I can guarantee it.
No.
I mean,
not at all.
Incredible. And I've been a fan of Mike Jacobs since way back in the days.
The days.
PWA days.
See, you know what? You can say that because everybody else says it. You can say
since back in the PWA days.
There you go. There you go. That's when I first met you.
Yeah. What else do we have coming up?
Oh, Dan Delicious. Dan Delicious was not at the last show because he was very sick. He was very ill. But he called up, and come to find out now, I didn't know this, but they're from the area. Him and this guy by the name of Trucker Jones, the big guy that we were talking about, has a little bit of heat going on. Now, Trucker Jones is a truck driver. He's a man's man, and Dan Delicious is a man's man in his own right. You know what I'm saying?
In a strawberry shortcake kind of way.
Strawberry shortcake kind of way. They don't like each other. Trucker Jones, he said that if he can take him out, he wants to send him back to New York. That's actually what he said. That's where he belongs, is up in New York.
Well, you know, Dan Delicious having the advantage in the psychological warfare part of it. I mean, you've seen him distract and just otherwise mentally break down opponents.
But I don't think he can do it with a massive Trucker Jones. I honestly believe that if the 270-pound Trucker Jones hits him with a drop kick, that's all she wrote.
Wow, you're just going to have to come down on the second and find out. And I think we have to take a real quick break, but we're going to be back in just a minute.
We'll be right back.